Happy Tuesday. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. We getting close, y'all. This one's a super fast stream. I just wanted to go ahead and drop my bingo card for 2026. I just did it very quickly. Um, will it change? I can't say, but as for now, this is what our bingo card is for 2026. So, okay. So, one, Shamrock is Bonnie's dad. Something that we speculated for quite some time now. Something that is very possible, likely. Um, I'm 10 toes down on it. I believe it. I don't think like the pink hair. It just falls in line, especially with who Shamrock and like who Garling are as individuals and characters. So I believe that. Brooke worked for the Celestial Dragons. I feel as if we've been hinted at that in some regard. We've seen the flashback between Brooke and Gunko. They have some relationship, of course. So we know that Brooke worked for a convoy at some point, but we don't have anything more than that. We kind of just got his flashback from like when he was a pirate. And I think I can't remember if it was her who saying that she wanted to be a pirate or Brooke who said he wanted to be a pirate in the flashback. But regardless, he ended up becoming the pirate, of course. And yeah, I believe he obviously worked for the Celestial Dragons. I believe the next one, I think we're getting Mihawk's backstory in 2026. I think it's about time. We have little to no information. The only other time I see we might be getting it is officially when we have the Mihawk versus Zoro final battle. But I feel as if like there's no point in giving Mihawk's backstory so late in the story because I feel like one of the final things we're getting in the story is Mihawk versus Zoro, and I still unfortunately don't think Zoro is there yet. He needs to get there, but he's able to damage Kaido, but I feel like Mihawk. I put Mihawk above Odin currently. I put Mihawk over Odin. So I'm thinking that he can do real damage. LL Cool, LJ, what up though? So I want to say the next one on the card is uh, Elbath arc finishes. That's what I'm predicting. I be- what up, Gina? What up, chat? How we doing? We doing the elbow. We doing the One Piece bingo card for 2026. I believe that Elbath arc finishes. We don't have too much left. Icy, how y'all doing? We're going over the One Piece bingo card. I believe Elbath arc finishes. We don't have too much left. Like we have to get. I believe we have one more chapter for the year. I want to say so. I hope so. Fingers crossed. My day was great. Thank you so much for asking. How was your day? How's everybody's day? Check in on the chat. How y'all doing today? Yeah, I believe the arc finishes. I actually think the Straw Hats get an L in some regard. I have an idea. I'm gonna go for it's further down the bingo card, but it's there. The next one is I believe Nami is royalty. So we don't have a background story for Nami's parents. Um, we know that she was like adopted or found when she was younger, but I do feel as if that she does come from royal blood. I can't recall, or I don't have like too much to go off of for that one, but I that's what I believe. I'm a strong believer that Nami is royalty in the story. We're not sure which kingdom as of yet. Maybe she's even like a part of like the Davy clan in some regard or something like that. Who knows? What up, Music 24? How y'all doing? We good, we good. We doing One Piece bingo card right now. Checking on the chat. How's everybody doing? Send a like the video, subscribe. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. So in the what's it called? In the Tokyo, was it Jump Fest? Jump Fest just happened recently. Oda revealed that we're gonna be having tons, or not tons, but we're gonna have a couple meetups in this next year. So I believe that one of those meetups is definitely Luffy and Dragon. I think the time has come. With how fast they're trying to, how Oda's trying to ramp up the story. I think we're actually going to be getting Luffy meets Dragon in this next year, 2026. Next one, Pluton reveal. I think we're getting the Pluton reveal officially. Obviously, we have I think it's Uranus, Pluton, and what's the last one? Like we have Shirahoshi, we have Momonosuke, and then we have the last one, which is Uranus. So I'm actually sorry, I might have to correct that. I believe it's Uranus that we're getting. But we've seen like I believe Pluton is at the bottom of Wano, and I think we're actually gonna see what it is. We're not just gonna get like the oh it's this. We're actually gonna see what the ancient weapon is. What's up, Andreas? We talking One Piece bingo card 2026. Thank you for tuning in. If it's your first time on my channel, I go by the name Straw Hat Ange. Make sure I hit subscribe. I greatly would appreciate it. So yeah, I think we're getting the full Pluton reveal, or at least like a couple ancient weapons, like really seeing what's going on with them. But I say Pluton. Because I believe that we have like the connection. So like every ancient weapon has like the three parts to it. If you haven't seen Ohara's video, excuse me, on ancient weapons, you definitely need to check that out. Ohara was first. There's other people who have put out videos, but Ohara was first for a fact. Where it's like you have Shirahoshi, who's the ancient weapon with an ability. So I think like you have the individual, you have the ship, and then you have the creature, right? So you have Shirahoshi, the Noah, and then you have you have Shirahoshi, the Noah, and then you have the Sea Kings, where then you have Momonosuke, Pluton, and then you have Zunisha. And then I think the final one, is Enel's ship. I think you have put maybe Emu as the individual, or no, sorry, Vivi as the individual. So Vivi, we don't know what the creature is as of yet. I think the creature's on top of Elbath. I think I'm gonna switch one of mine for that. I think it's a creature on top of Elbath. So the creature on top of Elbath. Oh, I forgot about Roger's egg. I need to write this down. Hold on. Roger's egg. Vivi. Roger's egg is the ancient weapon, and Vivi's the actual person who controls that weapon. And then you have the arc maxim. The arc maxim is the final ship. So if you guys don't know about that, definitely go check out Ohara's video. That's what I gotta say about that one. Next one, we have Shanks Scar flashback. I think we're gonna get the flashback finally of Shanks and Blackbeard, or at least how Shanks managed to get his scar from Blackbeard. We haven't seen that as of yet. It would go good to kind of, I think it fills in that gap. I know they're gonna face off at some point. As for what, can't say as of yet, or like I'm sure it's probably gonna have to be towards Laugh Tale, because I think personally, I think Buggy's gonna be the Pirate King. He's gonna end up being the Pirate King. Apparently, like he's Oda's favorite character, and there's a couple other reasons why. But I believe Buggy is gonna be the one who ends up becoming Pirate King, because Pirate King is just essentially the title that they believe they need, or Luffy's going for that title simply because he believes he needs his dream. He needs that title to obtain his dream, but it's not necessarily true. I think Buggy's the only one who actually will accumulate the title of Pirate King, truthfully. Mihawk. Next one, Mihawk is related to Emu. We've obviously seen the eyes, but I think they actually have a blood relationship. So I think it's like what's it called? I think Emu has, no, I can't remember what it is. Vivi's Nerona, like the original like ancestor's name, right? Like they have a relationship to in history, but I think I seen this theory that was basically saying like Mihawk is like a vampire or something like that. His bloodline is related to vampires in some regards, which is pretty dope. Which would be crazy. Kind of giving like maybe like vampire and devils. That's what it's kind of giving like Black Clover vibes in a sense, but nonetheless, still fire. Um, I think they're related. I think they're related 100%. Dragon, next one, Dragon makes a move. We're finally looking west, ladies and gentlemen, if not north and south. We're at least looking west, north, or south with our boy Dragon. He finally makes a move in this next year. He's had, shout out to him. He's gotten some dubs this year. What we got pre Dragon, we got early Dragon with him at God Valley. Obviously, he was at God Valley and he's been making moves. Hey, what up? What up? Hey, we got Scotland in the house. What up, Kenny? Kenny, how you doing, Kenny? Yeah, we talking about One Piece right now. I'm doing my bingo card. Appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you so much. Um, Shout out to Scotland. I never been, but I know I hear it's lit. Um, yeah, so Dragon makes a move in the next year for sure. Shanks has Davy blood. That's my next one. Shanks has Davy blood. I believe Shanks has Davy blood, and the reason for that simply is one, where he was born. Obviously, he was born on God Valley, but at the same time, so there's a bunch of Davy people there. He's there. He just happens to have royal blood because of Shamrock. His mom has like red hair, special red hair of some sort, and he's called the child of destiny, right? Something about him is the child of destiny. So like I think it's along the lines of like if Roger and them know the whole history, if they really do know the whole history, including like Davy and stuff like that, I think it's a matter of Shanks really does have Davy blood in him, which makes him like the close. It's funny because his in the latest translation of the episode, they were saying that Shanks, like the exact translation I don't have, but the Giants were kind of like comparing Joy Boy's hockey to Shanks, and they weren't sure if it was as strong, if not stronger, than Shanks, which is Shanks up his scale again. Okay, our boy is going up. Next one, Garling Demon reveal. So we know that Garling now is a member of the Gorosei. I believe we're gonna get his transformation in the next year. I don't feel like there's a need to wait, especially because we do know now that they can transform. I believe that we're gonna get his reveal as well. Arouge. We're gonna get Arouge finally in this next chapter. I think we're gonna see like all the next year. We're gonna see like all the transformations slash like all the unique, not animals, but the unique races. We're gonna get all the unique races of the One Piece world in the new in next year. We're probably gonna go up. We're probably gonna somehow. I have no idea how, but we're gonna be somehow be able to hit Sky. We have to hit Skypiea. We have to hit Wano, and we have to hit Atlantis. We have to hit all these places. We have to hit all these places somehow in the next year. Either they're going to be traveling quick or they're going to be using what's his name? Either we're going to be somehow like there has to be an increase in travel, which could lead back to Loki's devil fruit power, because if he does have the serpent, the hell serpent, I believe, and like hell serpent is basically the length, it's the red line, right? So if we have the hell serpent, he should be able to travel between these distances, say like Wano to the underground sea at like tremendous speed, right? It's funny enough because they keep on saying Loki can't come on the ship because of his size, but the ship should be able to use Loki at that point. Maybe he is the first devil fruit user that can swim. We haven't confirmed that, right? Because in the last chapter, he did mention, hey, doesn't it take away from my ability to swim? But perhaps it actually is the other way around, where it's like he's the only devil fruit that actually can swim. So that's what I'm predicting in the next one. We're gonna have, like, the Rouge appearance and see everybody else, see all the other races and stuff. This one ties back to Elbath arc finishes. Right now, Kenny, I'm talking about One Piece. I'm giving my One Piece bingo card. So these are all the predictions that I have right now as for what is going to happen next year in One Piece. So it's kind of like you make a virtual bingo card, and essentially, like, all your predictions, you put all those predictions on that card. So right now, I'm going over what these predictions are, my personal predictions based off what we've seen for the story so far, and kind of just like the tidbits of stuff. So like these are all the things that I believe are going to happen in One Piece 2026. My next one is, like I said earlier, that ties into the one from earlier. Elbath arc finishes. So I believe Brook and Usopp are actually the saviors of Elbath. The reason being, I believe that Emu does have an advantage right now. Emu is very strong. I don't want to say Luffy and Loki won't be able to handle it. I believe that with the Giants, it will be hard, especially because of the Domi Reversi. But if Loki has Hell Serpent, attack as well, or Hell Serpent Devil Fruit, he should be able to attack a lot of giants or creatures like the Shadow Dream monsters very quickly, or at least like at an exponential rate. But I still think that Emu has the advantage currently, because we have, like, obviously hockey blooms, but it would be tough for Luffy. I think it's going to be tough for Luffy overall, especially having to defend the Straw Hats, because there's not much that they can do besides like defend the kids right now. And I can't believe the kids aren't gone yet. So I think Brook, because his relationship with Gunko, as well as so like that's gonna like trigger something in her to kind of like fight Emu in some regard, or remember who she is, remember who she was, her relationship. We already seen like glimpses of it. And then we're also gonna have Usopp finally awaken Conqueror's hockey to actually have a effect on the Giants. We need that at this point. Like, we need that at this point. We need this. Elbath is supposed to be Usopp's arc. I think we're leaving Elbath fairly soon, so it only makes sense that, like, Usopp finally awakens his Conqueror's hockey in the next little bit, to finally give him that W that he hasn't gotten, or that we've been waiting for him for quite some time. And then, yeah, so I have here Usopp's Conqueror's hockey, which kind of just ties into the one from before. I have Kaido is alive. I obviously don't think that Kaido died from him versus Luffy, although he fell inside the magma, which is a good reason for him to die. But Big Mom made her promise, or made her deal, like, she's gonna get it back in blood, where Kaido still owes her a favor. I've heard theories that Kaido's just gonna become a homie, become Big Mom's homie, which is, I ain't even mad at that. I think that kind of works. Not for his ego. That would be tough to watch him kind of be like a soft ego of a dragon, but funny at the same time, right? But nonetheless, I think Kaido is alive. Next one, Blackbeard goes to Wano. We need to see Pluton again. I think it's the reveal. He has the option, like, he's with Caribou. Caribou knows everything that's taking place right now, or at least has the information on a bunch of ancient weapons. So I think it is possible, or kind of easier to get to Shirahoshi. But I still feel as if Blackbeard might go to Wano, just because of they still might be healing or recovering currently. As well as it's tougher. They don't have like an element, right? Where it's where to I think it's harder for Blackbeard to do a earthquake underwater. You know what I mean? Even if it's like he does the black holes and stuff, like I think it's just a tougher battlefield for him overall. Luffy, next one, Luffy's mom backstory. I think we need a Luffy mom's backstory. I know we don't really do the mom stuff in One Piece. We got Sanji's mom, we got a few people's mom, but it's Luffy's mom's backstory that just essentially ties in with Dragon. Having Dragon's backstory as to what truly happened with him. I know he lost his mind basically, not lost his mind, but he was he gave up on the Navy basically because of what he saw at God Valley. I believe what we're gonna see is that we saw something similar, or I believe Luffy's mom's backstory has to be tragic in some regard. Oda says apparently that we have seen her. I don't believe so. I don't want to say so. I think Oda is just like trolling when it came to that, but we'll see. Next one, Void Century flashback. We need one. We highly need the Void Century flashback. I don't feel like they're going to wait till the end of the story. I think it would be great to progress the story, to get back-to-back years of like so much lore and world building would be phenomenal. Even if we don't get like Nika's time, Joy Boy's time, or even if we get Nika's time and not Joy Boy's time, I'm here for either one. But specifically, I said Void Century flashback. Next one, Logia Awakening. And as I'm looking at like the final arc picture, I believe that Logia Awakening might even be Sabo. I'm thinking Sabo might be the Logia Awakening that we see, if not Akainu, but definitely Sabo. I want to say Sabo is going to be our Logia Awakening. All right, guys, we got 5 more. Next one, Garp dies. Uh, Garp is a hero of the past. I don't feel Sen Goku is in a place of wanting to continue his position. I feel like, like Garp said, like in the scenario where the old man is about to get captured or dies, let the old man die, right? So I want to say that we're gonna have Garp actually passes away, and that kind of ties in with the Luffy and Dragon meeting and the background story and things along those lines. You know what I mean? Uh, Next, Buggy is related to Blackbeard. Obviously, Buggy is related to Blackbeard. It's been speculated. Once we finally got the color reveal for Zebek's hair, it was a given, basically, right? Once we got the hair reveal for Blackbeard, it was a given that we. Sorry, once we got the hair reveal for Zebek, it was basically a given that Buggy is related to Zebek, if not Blackbeard. I must say they have all the power to technically like recruit people. They have like a nuance for recruiting people. Blackbeard, obviously. Zebek did it via Davy back fights. Buggy is just a political leader in some regards where everybody just falls for everything that he says. But that's what I believe. I think Buggy obviously is related to Blackbeard. Next one. 3 more. Saturn built Emeth. So based off the latest chapter that we had here, it looked as though Saturn walked up to Emeth, and what was it? Was it in the chapter? Braga was saying how Oda's might end up doing something where all the Goros say we're actually very good people. The Goros say we're all, especially like say Saturn. Saturn was a very good, kind old man. And then whatever took place, he ended up being going with Emu. So based off he's the leader of science and tech, right, for the world government. So with that being the case, if he was around for the ancient kingdom times, it would be safe to say, if not, like, it makes sense that Saturn actually had something to do with building Emeth. So that's what I believe. So Emeth is obviously from the ancient, from the void century times, and I believe that if Saturn, we don't know when exactly the we don't know exactly when the Gorosei came along with Emu, but I want to say that he did have a part in building Emeth. Um, Two more. So second last one. Mihawk has a deep sea contract. The reason I believe Mihawk has a deep sea contract is simply because it's the eyes. I believe the Mihawk eyes, the Zunisha eyes, those Renegon eyes that Emu and them have are the deep sea contract. Whereas you have the other ones which are tattoos. I believe that this is the deep sea contract. So I want to say Mihawk has it. And then finally, Shirahoshi is Mosa. Um, we know that the bearded snail looks more like King Neptune, but I do want to. I believe that Shirahoshi is actually Mosa. They said they had to run, they had to go when things were taking place in the flashback, but what I want to say is that Shirahoshi's Mosa. That makes a lot more sense to me personally. But guys, let me know what you think. I think this is a pretty solid bingo card. You're just throwing things up in the air. I do want to replace one of them or two of them. I want to do say again that Roger's egg reveal. We're gonna get Roger's egg reveal, and we're gonna get Vivi is a part of one of the ancient weapons. So we're gonna kind of like see the full circle or the three chains of the ancient weapons. So again, Shirahoshi, Momonosuke, Vivi, Noah's Ark, um, Noah's Ark, Pluton. Sorry, Noah's Ark, the ship. I forget Momonosuke's ship. But then you have Vivi. Let me do the straight chain one. That one's a little bit easier. So Shirahoshi, Noah's Ark, Sea Kings, Momonosuke, Zunisha, Pluton, Vivi, Uranus, and Roger's Roger's shell that he had, Roger's egg that he had. I believe that's what we have for the ancient weapons. So, guys, appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know what you guys think. What's your bingo card for 2026? I'm super excited to see what it might be. The predictions go crazy. Very few of us are actually correct when it comes to this, and I'm grateful for being wrong for most of it. I only for my last year bingo card, I only got two of them right. The ones I got right were what do I have right for my bingo card? Let me check quick. I didn't get a lot right. Honestly, it's 25 sections. It looks I did some mine looks like a rookie made mine. Bingo. I won't even show here. Show my other phone. But yeah, I only managed to get 6 actually right on my bingo card. Nonetheless, guys, appreciate you for tuning in. It's your boy Straw Hat Ange. Tune in tomorrow. I don't have an exact time when I'll be going live streaming, but I will be live streaming tomorrow, of course. Love, peace, good energy. I will see y'all tomorrow. Love.